Welcome to the 30-second drill, where unlike the Buffalo Bills, we're not a movie on repeat, and unlike the Dallas Cowboys, we're happy to always turn up with the same lack of effort every week. We have a former member of the Mac Jones fan squad and a foundation member of the coining of the term Australia's team Detroit Lions. Our research is getting better, our graphics are getting better, our TikTok and YouTube shorts are funny to us, so we don't care what you think. This week, we have started to see those who accept new information and pivot are more likely to succeed. On that note, I've started to claw my way back in the rankings and trail 49 to 46 against Shane. I believe some viewers are now referring to Shane as the Bill Belichick of tipping and myself as the Andy Reid of tipping. How's your week been, Shane?
It's been pretty good. I actually listened to you this week, so I'm not going to blast you for your non-overreaction yet.
Oh, that's good, mate.
How are you doing?
Yeah, look, I've been watching a lot of other teams play NFL. It's been enjoyable.
Man, it's a good sport when you don't go for the Patriots.
It is. We're going to go straight into my overreactions of the week. So, Brock Purdy is the dude. How much more do you need? Yes, where your land matters, but Trey Lance was here and he wasn't the dude, and Jimmy G wasn't either. This guy is. Joe Burrow is back. The Vikings versus the Packers for who will draft the better quarterback could shape who finishes second in the North for the next 2 decades, because the Lions will always be first. Can you draft the quarterback while overpaying yours when they still have years left? I'm looking at you, Broncos and Giants. And is the Chiefs' offense a problem?
I don't think any of that was an overreaction at all.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, that's a bit disappointing for the show.
That's really crap.
Yeah, well, you usually try and defend Mac Jones. I can have a bit of a crack at that, but I think everything you said was, for once, semi-accurate.
Well, I jumped off that ship without a life raft and I'm fine. And that ship is sinking.
It is fast.
Yeah, well, let's get straight into it. Well, we have the Broncos at the Chiefs. The Broncos are coming off a funny loss, 31-21 against the Jets, and the Chiefs are coming off a win against the Vikings, 27-20. So the Broncos, this defense used to be good, but this side is trash and it's going to ruin Sean Payton's legacy. The Chiefs' problems appear to be their offense, and if that is legitimate, that is actually quite a scary proposition for the rest of the league. Don't knock their defense. It's speedy, it's quality, and it looks to be improving. And that's all I have to say on that game.
I do not have a whole lot to say on this one either. But as we've mentioned every week, I'm going to keep banging the drum. Sean Payton, regretting this decision, but maybe the Broncos are starting to regret hiring him, because he's turned a top 10 defense into one of the historically worst ones. And the Chiefs, they continue to win without playing anywhere near their best. But will a wide receiver please stand up? And the defense is outperforming the offense, which is a pleasant surprise for Chiefs fans. I am taking the Chiefs.
As am I. Moving on to the Ravens at the Titans. The Ravens are coming off a 17-10 loss against the Steelers, and the Titans are coming off a loss against the Colts, 23-16. Over to you, Shane.
So this game is in London. The Ravens absolutely bottled the game against the Steelers. They let them hang around, and then they saved all their mistakes right for the last quarter. Could have taken a stranglehold on the division, but now they're only one game separates first and last, and Lamar's just missing so many easy passes. This could all fall apart if they don't click soon. Titans, they lost when the backup quarterback comes in. They're probably the most inconsistent team in the league. They lost to the Saints, beat the Chargers. Lost to the Browns, beat the Bengals. Lost to the Colts, and I'm taking the Ravens.
Fair enough too. So this Ravens team, they can't keep blowing opportunities if they want to be a contender. They've lost very winnable games against the Colts and now the Steelers. They should be 5-0 and tearing away in their division. Instead, they've let everyone else catch them, and they've let Joe Burrow get fit. As for the Titans, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. What are they doing? And I don't know if they should make a change at quarterback or something, but they are just so confusing to me. And in standard for me, I'm taking the Titans like an idiot. Moving on to the Commanders at the Falcons. The Commanders are coming off a loss 40-20 against the Bears, and the Falcons are coming off a win 21-19 against the Texans. So the Commanders are another team. I have no idea what they're doing and what they stand for. They will win 2 of their next 5. That's a guarantee, because they faced the Giants twice. I didn't see the Falcons winning. They have the following to come. Commanders, Bucks, Titans, Vikings, Cardinals, Saints, Jets, Bucks, Panthers, Colts, Bears, Saints. I'd love to have an accurate prediction like I did with the Lions, but they could end up anywhere, and I can't explain it. I can't explain them. I'm going to say that they're going to finish 11-6, and I'm taking the Falcons in this one.
Commanders, their secondary is absolutely awful. You'd think maybe you'd roll over coverage once DJ Moore hit maybe 100 yards, but just let him roll. Howell's not the reason they keep losing, but he's definitely not the solution going forward. Falcons, Ritter pulled off a very impressive game-winning drive. His O-line and run game is very effective, and Ritter just does enough. NFC South could go 3 or 4 ways. It's just not going to Carolina, but I'm taking the Falcons in this one.
Moving on to Seahawks at the Bengals. The Seahawks are coming off a bye with 13 days rest, and the Bengals are coming off a 34-20 win against the Cardinals, and they have 7 days rest. Over to you, Shane.
The Seahawks' makeshift O-line held up surprisingly well the final 2 games before their bye, and their last game had 11 sacks against the Giants. Gino's continuing to impress, and he's really made the most of this second or third or fourth chance, whatever he's on. The Bengals, is he back? Or was it just because it was the Cardinals? I'm hoping that he is back, played himself into form, and the calf is healing. Although he did only go 1 from 4 on deep passes. Clearly him as Burrow. Taking the Bengals.
Yes, him is Burrow. That makes a lot of sense.
It is, and Burrow is him.
Burrow is him. Off the bye, they're going to be ready to hunt Burrow, and I hope he just keeps getting fitter and he's ready. I think Shane's boy Joe is back, baby. I think, and I hope. If he is, and it appeared he might be, this team's going to start flying. Chase has got a touchdown on board now, so he's going to get rolling, and the Bengals could prove to be very difficult opposition for everyone going forward. But I am taking the Seahawks. Moving on to the Colts at the Jags. The Colts coming off a 23-16 win over the Titans. And the Jags coming off a 25-20 win against the Bills in London. What a shock that was. The Colts, it's sad for Richardson, but this team is sneaky good. I like them. A sustained run with Gardner Minshew brings a lot of questions, though. But what do I know anyway? I used to like Mac Jones. As for the Jags, that's my boy. I told you he would leapfrog Josh Allen, and he did it in style. The prince that was promised is the Prince of England, and now he's ready to roll. I'm taking the Jags.
I'm also going to take the Jags in this one. Is Minshew the best backup in the league? Dude's just always ready to go, and he gets it done. I hope Richardson's shoulder is not too bad, but he's been injured 3 from 5 games. It's not a good start to a career. Trevor Lawrence, he is the prince that fumbles. He fumbled 3 times and lost 2 of them. Lucky that the Bills just could not get it going in the first 3.5 quarters. Taking the Jags in this one.
To the Panthers at the Dolphins. The Panthers coming off a 42-24 loss against Australia's team, the Detroit Lions, while the Dolphins coming off a 31-16 win against the Giants. Over to you, Mr. Shane.
Panthers were insipid all over the field, all 3 phases. They're just horrendous. Australia's team put up 42, and Miami could probably put up even more this week. And the Panthers do not even have their first-round pick, so Bears fans will love what's going on here. Dolphins rebounded from their dismal performance against the Bills, and they should enjoy a very light padded practice this week against the Panthers. Tua was efficient as usual, and adding Chase Claypool was the thing that happened, but I'm going for the Dolphins.
It is a thing that happened.
Yeah.
On the Panthers, holy hell, they suck. As for the Dolphins, they're just so damn fast. They've added Chase Claypool, which you said, which I feel like is pretty much, it's like bragging about cup holders in your Ferrari. No one cares. 2 of 3 for 300 yards with 2 interceptions, and they rushed for 222 yards. They're probably pretty disappointed with putting up 31 points. I'm sure they'll make amends for it on the pathetic Panthers this week. I am taking the Dolphins in a complete rout. On to the Vikings at the Bears. The Vikings are coming off a narrow loss against the Chiefs, 27-20, and the Bears are coming off thumping the Commanders, 40-20. If this was the Bills or the Jets, everyone would moan about how unlucky they are. But they're not unlucky. They suck. They're 1-4, and you get to 1-4 by sucking. Trust me, my team is 1-4. As for the Bears, I said they'd draft the quarterback who could throw. Maybe they already had. Maybe they've figured out how to coach. The Bears have the Vikings, Raiders, Chargers, Saints, Panthers before the Lions. I'm telling the Bears to get excited. Get excited, Bears fans. I'm picking you in this game. Go Bears. Over to you, Mr. Shane.
Go Bears. So, Vikings, fumble on the opening drive was a classic Vikings move. They hung around against the Chiefs. Don't know if anyone thought they were ever going to win. Justin Jefferson is on AR. This is the worst thing that could possibly have happened for this team, and just start planning for next season. The Bears, get excited, Bears fans. Justin Fields has been very impressive the last 2 games, 8 touchdowns in that time, but this was all about DJ Moore. He's been a star in a bad team at Carolina, and he continues to be a star in another bad team at Chicago. Taking the Bears.
Moving on to the 49ers at the Browns. The 49ers coming off thumping the Cowboys 42-10. The Browns coming off a 14-day rest with the bye. Over to you, mate.
49ers could not have played a more complete game than that. Purdy's making a case for being a top 10 quarterback, and the 49ers are making a case that they are the best team in all 3 phases. Made the Cowboys look like the front-running bullies that they are. Browns, 14 days rest, 21 for Watson after he decided to opt out from that last game, even though he was cleared. Bit of a sook. But he should probably sit out one more game because the 49ers are going to hit him a lot. I think the defense of the Browns should slow them down a little bit, but not for the entire game. Taking the 49ers.
So the 49ers destroyed the Cowboys. Who's going to stop this team? Did they copy Australia's Team Detroit Lions flea flicker? Yes, and I loved it. George Kittle just went nuts on that Cowboys team, and they were insipid. It wasn't surprising if you're as big of a fan of Mike McCarthy's poor coaching as we are here at the 30-second drill. Lots of amusement it's provided over the years. The bye will help Cleveland's defense as they'll need to be at their best. I'm taking the 49ers.
It's a good call. It's the right call.
Moving on to Saints at the Texans. The Saints coming off a 34-0 win against the Patriots, which left many people wondering why they only put up 34 points. The Texans coming off a loss 21-19 against the Falcons. As for the Saints, can you say anything positive about teams smashing the Patriots right now? It's a training run, and I am putting it out there that it's actually going to lead them into a false sense of security against the Texans. Still like Stroud and what this team can do despite this loss. Backing them in here as the Saints, as I said, had a soft game, and they're not going to be ready to actually play a competent football team right now. That's how low I think of my own New England Patriots. I'm referring to Texans as a competent team. I'm taking the Texans.
New Orleans Saints, 12-5 is back on if they could play the Patriots every week. I'm going to turn this into a Patriots rant. Mac has to go. Bill is surely on shaky ground. The game teams will have passed him by, and he's not involved with the game. He's crafted 2 guards, 2 kickers, and they have the worst wide receivers in the league. But at least they have kickers. And I get to talk about the Pats again later. Texans. Stroud is as close to elite as you can be as a 5-game rookie. Franchise has a QB, get him a number 1 receiver, and watch him thrive. Would have led a game-winning touchdown drive if the defense hadn't have given up the walk-off field goal, but I'm taking the Texans. Done.
Moving on to the New England Patriots at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Patriots coming off a 34-0 loss against the Saints. The Raiders coming off a 17-13 win against the Packers. Over to you, Shane.
Okay, so the Raiders haven't watched that game. On to the Patriots. Last 2 weeks, they've been outscored 72-3. This is what it looks like when you do not have Tom Brady's magic. Mac is awful, and the team do not even like him. This will be a long season, but on a positive note, you're putting yourself in a position for a top 5 pick now that you are, I believe, last in the division, or close enough to. 38 drives without an offensive touchdown, and Mac has scored 3 touchdowns for the opposition in that stretch. 10 turnovers in 3 quarters. This is not the Patriots of old. I am taking the Raiders.
It's putting up points, mate. They're just for the wrong team. As for the Raiders, I did watch it. McDaniel still makes weird decisions, which aren't helped when your kicker goes 1 of 3 for field goals. But Jordan Love sucks, so they were never in danger. The Pats players have no faith in their quarterback. I completely agree with you on that. You can see it. Adam Schefter has said the offense won't look the same against the Raiders. It can't get any worse. So whoop-de-doo. If Mac took a knee on every play this week, it actually would have statistically been a better performance than what he put in. And maybe that's what they're going to do, and that's why it'll look different. I'm taking the Raiders. I'll probably even take the Panthers over the Patriots if they played them.
Bring back Patricia.
Moving on to Australia's team, the Detroit Lions at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Detroit Lions coming off a 42-24 win, which again didn't show the dominance. And the Buccaneers coming off a bye that they needed before they faced the Lions. They got 14 days rest, but it's not going to matter. Australia's dominant team, the Detroit Lions, Kings of the North. Can we call an audible just to continue the love affair? No, because I have Buffalo Bills hate to go around. The receiving core is deep. The running backs work. Goff doesn't get rattled, and Dan the Man Campbell leads these men better than anyone. Can I change teams? No, I'm not that guy.
Don't want you.
The Bucks have had extra rest to be smashed. I'm taking the Lions. Over to you, Shane. Have 4 extra seconds.
I am also taking Australia's team, the Detroit Lions. They're playing the second best football in the NFC right now, only behind the 49ers. Goff in the run game looks like it can't be stopped, and they need to bury teams in the second half. That is my only criticism. Over the last 2 games, Australia's team has outscored opponents 55-13 in first halves. Buccaneers. Baker's leading this team to first place in the division, which is surprising to me. They demolished the Saints before the bye, and Baker had 3 touchdowns. So the passing game can cause problems, although I cannot see them causing too many problems for the mighty Australian Detroit Lions. Taking the Lions.
You said that already.
I'm saying it again.
Cardinals at the Rams. The Cardinals coming off a 34-20 loss against the Bengals, and the Rams coming off a 23-14 loss to the Eagles. Shane.
Cardinals, that was probably their worst performance of the year. And at what stage do you think you would just double cover Jamar Chase? When he's at like 100 yards maybe, 8 catches, or just let him run up to 191? Dobbs, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's another player who is not the problem, but he's not the solution. I'm looking forward to Kyler Murray coming back. Rams are better than I thought they would be. They'll be competitive, and they should have the coaching advantage most weeks, but they're just too top-heavy. Stafford's still good enough to lead a decent team to victory, but he cannot do it solo. But I'm taking the Rams.
This is going to be short and sweet. The Cardinals, I still don't find this team interesting, even though you would kind of think they are a little bit interesting. They're okay. For the Rams, I guess 2 and 3 accurately shows what this team are. They're below par, below average. That'll do. That's literally all I got on these 2. I'm taking the Rams.
That's all you need.
On to the Eagles at the Jets. The Eagles coming off that 23-14 win over the Rams, and the Jets coming off that 31-21 win over the Broncos. So the Eagles shut the Rams out in the second half. This team keeps improving. They look better and better each week, and I still don't think they're playing their best, but they sit at 5-0. What a great position to be in. As for the Jets, it's a great win for them. I can't see Zach Wilson being at his uninspiring best again, nor can I see this defense dominating the Eagles. The Jets are really unique, and it's a damn shame we haven't got to see this team with Rodgers, but it's cool to actually see Zach Wilson improve. Like, I didn't think it was possible for him to leapfrog Mac Jones, but he stomped his head into the ground while he did it. I'm taking the Eagles, though.
That was good. I love the Mac Jones drive-bys.
They just keep coming.
The Eagles. This is maybe the most unimpressive 5-0 start I've ever seen, but 5-0 is impressive nonetheless. Is there a more effective or a better name play than the brotherly shove? I love that so much. I think it has a 93% success rate. Expect them to keep winning while tweaking things on the fly. Jalen Hurts got back to the run, and it looked really good. The Jets were not impressive. The Broncos are historically bad on defense, so they beat a historically bad team. I'm hoping the defense can make this game somewhat interesting. Either run the ball or just throw it to Garrett Wilson, even in double coverage. Taking the Eagles.
Moving on to the Giants at the Bills. This game, I'm giving you a heads up, mate. I'm calling an audible because I'm excited. The Giants are coming off a 31-16 loss to the Dolphins, and the Bills coming off a 25-20 loss against the Jags in London. Take it away, Shane.
I'm going to get through this super quick so you can have your moment in the sun. So the Giants, this team sucks. Sorry, Jim, they do. Maybe the biggest regression from last season. The Bills, their best corner is out for the season. Best linebacker might be out for the season. Massive blow. They had no run game last week. Nothing to really speak of. I'm taking the Bills to bounce back. Take it away. Enjoy your moment.
Oh, thank you so much. I will. I'll start quickly with the Giants. They're so bad. I can't believe they paid Daniel Jones. At least the Patriots haven't paid Mac. Bills, trailing 7-11 in the fourth. The Bills have the ball. What could possibly happen? What always happens in these big games? A Josh Allen pick. Then what happens? Trevor Lawrence has to throw from his own end zone, but it's okay. McDermott is calling defensive plays this time. He'll just leave Ridley open for an easy catch and first down. Add in a fumbled punt, plus a stupid lateral to finish it off. This is not new. This is not surprising. This is Buffalo. This is the AFC's arrogant version of the Minnesota Vikings. With Giants, Pats, and Bucks, don't be fooled when they go on a 3-game win streak and then they get destroyed by the Bengals. But I'm still taking the Bills this week because the Giants are a tip. Moving on to the Cowboys at the Chargers, our two favorite coaches. The Cowboys coming off a 42-10 loss to the 49ers, and the Chargers coming off Brandon Staley's best performance, the bye, 15 days rest. Starting with the Cowboys, they're never going to win anything with Dak as quarterback. They need to accept this. It doesn't matter how good their defense is. They wouldn't beat the Jets if they played them this week. They've beaten the Cardinals, Jets, and Patriots. They suck. For the Chargers, at least Brendan Staley had a long break to be completely unprepared this time. Justin Herbert will continue to keep him employed, and that's a damn shame for Justin Herbert. But at least I get amusement out of how bad he is, and Mike McCarthy may play a run play with not enough time to go. That could be entertaining. I'm taking the Chargers. Over to you, buddy.
Cowboys. Ha ha ha, I have written down. What a letdown. What a Dallas game. Hype leads to failure. Dak watched Mac Jones too closely last week and tried to emulate him. Not the quarterback you want to be copying. They'll have more fans at this away game, but my God, Mike McCarthy is awful situationally. Just terribly bad. And my favourite stat of the game, Dak threw 3 picks in 6 total offensive plays. Chargers, going to go a little bit overtime here, not by much. Chargers, 15 days rest. Before the bye, the offense stalled against the Raiders. Defense won that game because Khalil Mack recorded 6 sacks. Just another inconsistent team. If they want to keep pace with Chiefs, they need to win this one, and I'm taking the Chargers.
Cool. So we've got the Packers and the Steelers on the bye. The Packers are 2-3. They lost 17-13 to the Raiders. And I have this to say about the Packers. The Packers suck. The Steelers won 3-2. They won 17-10 against the Ravens. Shane, you told me you'd take a Mike Tomlin coach team over a Belichick coach team at before the season started. I rolled my eyes and I was like, this fucking guy. He's totally trolling me. Well, look at the Steelers go. They're doing it without a quarterback and an offensive coordinator. It's incredibly impressive. Anything to say about those two teams? Probably not the Packers because they suck.
Yeah, well, I did not see the Packers.
You missed much, mate.
I'm going to watch it, though. It's thoroughly enjoying seeing them crap the bed. The Steelers, TJ Watt is best defensive player in the game. I'm not even sure if there's a close second. If there is, it'd be someone on the 49ers, I suppose. But otherwise, they're just super impressive on defense, and the offense just has to score. I reckon if they can score 17 a game, they will win most games.
That's a big ask for Kenny Pickett.
It is, but you got to hope you can get a pick 6 maybe in there.
If they get rid of Matt Canada, there's a chance.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe they'll get Matt Patricia.
Oh,
because he looks good now.
He looks like a offensive genius for what he did with Mac Jones last year.
So once again, please follow us on TikTok, subscribe and like all our YouTube shorts and videos. Follow us on Instagram to see insanely wicked graphics like they were done on Microsoft Word Art. It's amazing. We have a Facebook page as well. And again, we have an email. Do not email us. Unless it's for a sponsorship opportunity. We probably still won't read it because we don't really care. And that's all from us this week. Go Patriots.
Go Lions.